tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Tech Friday. I'm joined by my co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. And today is Tech Friday. So sit back, relax, because we make tech easy to understand and easy to apply. Now today, we hope to be joined by our guest host every Friday, Miss TJ, all the way from New York City, Terry Johnson, and we're looking forward to her popping in. But right now, we're going to get started with Today in Tech. Hey, Fran.
Hey, how are you? And we have Linda from Gotta Be Handmade. She's over there playing over on our YouTube channel.
Hi, Linda. How you doing?
I don't think she's in the seat just yet, but she's definitely over there because I see her down in the chat. So I am definitely now going to get started. And I said definitely twice. So pardon the faux pas, people. Pardon the faux pas.
Do you want me to talk about...
I got my Today in Tech. Let's do that.
Okay. So you can get her in the seat.
Oh, no, she doesn't have to get in the seat because she's already over there. Okay. Like I said, we're playing with things.
You know, Francine's got us on so many platforms. It's like, we need to know who's on first.
Third base. Only people from a certain era is going to get that. Okay. But it was funny, though, anyway. Oh, okay. July 7th, 1936, a whole new way to drive a screw. Several U.S. patents are issued for the Phillips head screw and screwdriver to inventor Henry F. Phillips. Phillips founded the Phillips Screw Company to license his patents. One of the first customers was General Motors for its Cadillac assembly lines. By 1940, 85% of U.S. screw manufacturers had a license for the design. So, wait, he invented it and then licensed it out to manufacturers.
And you better believe that license is still paying dividends to generations.
Yes.
Giving literal, what would you call it, credence to the term, you got screwed.
Funny. Okay, so the next story, July 8th, 1957, Control Data Corporation was founded as an early pioneer in the field of supercomputers. What is happening here? They are incorporated. Their most notable employee was Seymour Cray, who during the 1960s developed for CDC the fastest computers in the world at the time. However, in 1972, Seymour Cray left CDC to Control Data, not the other CDC, to form his own company, Cray Research, which then took the title of creating the world's fastest computer. So I guess he wanted to take his props with him.
Or maybe, because you know this happens a lot, maybe the company wouldn't move as fast as the speed of business. Because they had to have board meetings, and maybe people on the board really didn't do tech. Does that sound familiar? Like people trying to regulate the internet? We don't understand how tech works, and they weren't ready to make that shift.
Yeah.
That pivot on a dime.
And so he had... to go. TJ is working on a project, so we'll keep pushing it on. July 9th, 1981, Donkey Kong and Mario's Birthday, the game that launched two of the most famous characters in video game history, is released for sale. Donkey Kong was created by Nintendo, a Japanese playing card and toy company turned fledgling video game developer who was trying to create a hit game for the North American market. Unable at the time to acquire a license to create a video game based on the Popeye character. So they couldn't get the license for the Popeye character. Nintendo decides to create a game mirroring the characteristics and rivalry of Popeye and Bluto. Donkey Kong is named after the game's villain, a pet gorilla gone rogue. The game's hero is originally called Jumpman, but is retroactively renamed Mario once the game becomes popular and Nintendo decides to use the character in future games. Cool. Due to the similarity between Donkey Kong and King Kong, Universal Studios sued Nintendo, claiming Donkey Kong violated their trademark. Seriously. Kong, however, is common Japanese slang for gorilla.
Okay.
The lawsuit was ruled in favor of Nintendo. The success of Donkey Kong helped Nintendo become one of the dominant companies in the video game market.
All right. My kids had Mario and
Donkey Kong, yes. And so when you get big, people are going to try and come at you. Just be ready. That's why you hire good lawyers.
Yeah.
July 9th, 1997, Gil Amelio was ousted from Apple. Apple Computer announced the resignation of Gil Amelio as CEO. Having been ousted by the board of directors, Amelio's departure paved the way for Steve Jobs to retake the helm of Apple. Ironically, it was Amelio who brought Jobs back into the fold of Apple by purchasing Jobs' company Next to use as the basis for the next Mac operating system. So anyway, brought him back and he got ousted. July 10th, 1962, the first international communication satellite, the world's first international communication satellite, Telstar 1 is launched into orbit, a collaboration between the US, Britain, and France. Telstar 1 introduced the world to transatlantic video feeds and ushered in a new era of communication. July 11, 1979, the first American space station, Skylab. Why does that sound eerily? Okay, oh, that's Skynet, never mind. Skylab re-enters the Earth's atmosphere and burns up after plans for keeping it in orbit failed to materialize. Fragments of Skylab fell around Perth, Australia, killing one cow.
Oh, not the cows. Taking out cows, we're taking out, okay. Better cows than people, though.
Yes. The Not So Final Fantasy, July 12, 1990, Nintendo releases the original Final Fantasies for the gamers out there, video game for its Nintendo Entertainment System in North America, one of the most successful role-playing games for the NES. Final Fantasy helped to popularize the genre and has gone on to spawn one of the most well-known RPG franchises in history. Ironically, the game's creator, Hironobu Sakaguchi, thought the game would be his last one, hence the final in the Final Fantasy. Had the game not sold well, he would have quit making games and gone back to college. So much for that. I'm like, wow. And the last story of the day, July 13th, 2001, the Code Red worm is released onto the internet, targeting Microsoft's 2S web server. Code Red had a significant effect on the internet due to the speed and efficiency of its spread. Much of this was due to the fact that the 2S was often enabled by default on many installations as Windows NT and Windows 2000. However, Code Red also affected many other systems with web servers, mostly by way of side effect, exacerbating the overall impact of the worm, ensuring its place in history among the many malware outbreaks infecting Windows systems in the late 1990s and early 2000s. And that is your week in tech history.
Hey, thank you so much. I want you to know that Pat's watching from North Carolina. How you doing, Durham Skyrider? And she wanted to know, is this our new time?
Yes.
This time slot is now permanent because it allows you to get on with the rest of your day. and we're going to try to keep the broadcast to 30 minutes. So you need to tune in as early as possible, because we hope to reduce the time slot from 1 hour to 30 minutes.
Okay, and then we have Linda. Say hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda, how you doing over there?
Gotta Be Handmade.
Gotta Be Handmade.
And she's over on YouTube. And I'm not sure if your mic is muted, but I see you. So we're over there playing with that as well.
Okay, well, it's Tech Friday.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to share this little article that I was reading over here on Independent News, but it says that Instagram's new story feature isn't anonymous. Users learn to their horror. And I'm going to read this feature because I never thought it was anonymous. I don't know what these people were thinking. A new feature on Instagram that lets people ask questions about other people's stories is getting users in trouble after they mistakenly believed it to be anonymous. Instagram users have taken to social media to report their blunders, with some revealing that they presumed secrecy, and it had emboldened them to say things they never normally would. The Facebook-owned app launched the question-asking feature with little fanfare earlier this month, adding it to existing yes-no polls and emoji sliders. It says the aim of the feature was to encourage people to interact, right? Interact more with each other's stories. However, it has led to some unintentional instances of oversharing. Let's see. A lack of any major announcement may have helped contribute to the confusion about whether other users can see who's asking the questions. So they thought they could ask the questions anonymously, like, why are you so ugly in this picture or whatever. Some Instagram users said they had used the guise of apparent anonymity to tell people on the platform that they thought they were ugly. And that's just rude. Others say they had taken the opportunity to let people know they liked them. So here we are, and I think what we really want to say, Francine, is let's stop the oversharing over here on social media. Let's just presume that people know who you are or can find out who you are. Or how about we just use some good manners, common sense, and good home training everywhere we go, whether it's online, in person, or just meeting a stranger on the street.
Okay, so who told you that whatever you did online was going to be anonymous?
And then here's the deal. It might be anonymous today, but who's to say that it will be anonymous tomorrow, that someone won't hack it and share all your stuff with everybody in the globe, on the globe?
Okay, one reason why we always tell you to be camera ready, and we're saying it again, is because you could be, you could accidentally be in somebody's photo walking by. You could be, you're definitely going to be on a photo cam. Just saying, you're on the traffic cam.
Yeah.
And if you're in Europe, you're on everybody's cam, because the cameras are everywhere. So the idea that you can be anonymous online, and you're answering questions from someone else. Yes, Pat, I agree. Why would anybody assume anonymity, whatever that word is? Why would you even think that? And so it emboldened them to say something that they would have not normally said. How old are you now? Oh, it made, okay, so Instagram made me do it. Is that
it's one of those things where you hit somebody and hide your hand. You know what I mean? That's just ugly. It's just ugly.
The fact that they even said that it made me do it.
It emboldened me.
Wait, you don't have any control over your own mouth? Or wait, your keys on your phone. You had to pick up the phone and use your thumbs or your finger to answer the question. You had to do that.
Or to, yeah.
I agree.
It says you need to control your impulses to do stuff. Okay.
And if you can't control your impulses online, perhaps you should put the phone down.
Stop it.
Okay.
And stop hurting people. Hurting people hurt people. You know, nobody wants to answer to pick up their phone and have somebody say, "Oh, you know what? I thought you looked really ugly." Oh,
but I mean, but people, I don't even understand. Anyway, you cannot blame the tool for how you use it.
There you go. It says, so I learned a new Instagram asked me something, isn't anonymous, so I'm going to delete my account. Really?
Good. Yeah, no, they need to delete their account right now. They don't need to be on.
I'm in agreement with you.
They just don't need to be online.
You just need to stop it.
So there was something that I was watching, and it popped up on my feed in Facebook from Mashable, and there was this device or this robot for single people so that they would not. It's kind of like having something in your house that can show you what your friends are doing.
That does what?
That can tell you what your friends are doing, so you don't feel lonely.
What do you mean, tell you what your friends are doing? Are they spying on your friends? I don't understand how this works.
Okay, I'm looking for the little thing. It's called
literally a robot.
It is a robot, and it sits in the house, and seriously, I was like,
you know what? I think I know what you're talking about. In Japan, they have these robot companions.
Okay, no, it is not even that. It is a little, yes, I think it is from Japan, but it's a little black thing that sits on the thing. And I was like, hold on a minute, what is that?
Oh. Because in Japan, they actually have these robots about the size of a mannequin, and people are taking them around in strollers.
Okay, that's different.
And because the Japanese believe that inanimate objects have souls, children are talking to the robots, and then they sit at the dinner table with these single people so they don't be lonely. It's very interesting.
Well, and this was a robot that can tell you what your friends are doing. Oh, so and so is folding laundry, and
oh my God! So how do they know?
Because you connect that with your friend. Okay. Wait.
You gotta tell me more, because that's weird.
The story was in Mashable Tech, I think it was. I was like, really? Who? So I'm trying to go over there now to pull that up. I'm like, And
Pat says regarding the Instagram article, she says, don't blame technology for moral failings and ignorance. It took you a while to get like that. Yes, it did, Pat. It took practice to just be rude, insensitive, and ugly. And then not only that, expanding on that article about responding to Instagram questions, some people took the opportunity to tell people that they had a crush on them. So, they thought they were letting people know without being exposed, only to find out that the person could see who was sending the "I like you, I've always liked you," So, the good, the bad, and the ugly people can be exposed over there online. So you want to be careful.
Okay, so while I'm looking up this, I see something here that's kind of interesting. So, holding weed, your Uber driver can get you banned from the app. So that's interesting, because as an Uber driver, I often wondered, okay, you just had whatever you were doing, and now you have this cloud, and you're getting in my car.
Oh, you mean like if they've got like their body is saturated with weed? Let's say they're coming from vapor place, and they smell like whatever it is they've been vaping, or they're coming from a recreational marijuana bar.
Yeah.
And now they're getting in your car, and when they get out, your car smells like gunji.
Well, here's the thing, and it's not even that. It says the company's community guidelines strictly prohibits bringing open containers of alcohol or drugs into the car. You think?
Well, you can't.
And that apparently includes weed. Yes, you can't. You cannot just bring your. You're not even supposed to be smoking in the car. Come on, people, really?
And the other thing is, if I am transporting you in my vehicle, now I'm responsible because it's my vehicle.
And then I'm still having to drive.
Because I got a contact high.
And now we're all in danger. Okay, come on.
Am I going to be, if we're pulled over and I'm tested and I have this stuff all in my skin, and I've been ingesting it because you have checked out my car. There's 5 of y'all smell. Am I going to test positive?
Yeah, well, in this particular article, Uber can let them know that the person brought drugs into the car, and then they would be banned from using the Uber app. And there are people who are mad about this. We don't, seriously, why are you bringing your drugs?
Here's the deal. You ought to be grateful that we're not reporting. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going straight to the police station.
Yeah, or you just lost your Uber privileges, not necessarily you go to jail.
Exactly. Maybe you need to be grateful.
Yeah. That was just weird. I was thinking, okay, there was a former Apple employee that was allegedly arrested for stealing self-driving car secrets.
Ooh.
From Apple. I'm like, okay, there was a robot that'll carry your luggage at the airport. I'm like, whatever.
There's a robot to carry my luggage?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, like while you're at the airport, you can sit it on the little thing and it'll roll.
Oh, okay, like a robo, like the little vacuum cleaner thing.
Yeah, so it'll follow you or whatever.
Well, I want you to know that Barnes & Noble's trying to get a market share to attempt to get foot traffic in, is offering board nights. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. Did anybody see the news feed? It's almost 8:30. Anybody see the news feed about Build-A-Bear?
No, I didn't.
They had a big sale where you paid your age. So kids could come in if they were 1 year old, they could get a bear for $1, etc. 10 years old, $10. Girl, the response was so great that they had thousands of customers lined up around the buildings everywhere they had a Build-A-Bear, and of course they ran out of bears. Just
That's
think,
a good problem to have.
Under 5. I come in, I want 3 bears. I got $10. Give me 3 bears. or I gather up all the kids in my neighborhood. Girl, just bring your kids over. I'm going. I'll just take everybody. So I come in. I take out 20, 30 bears. And the next person in line comes in for 1 bear. You got 1,000 people, and people were on social media talking with kids crying. Girl, it has been a PR nightmare. The CEO had to go on social media and apologize, has been on the news, and it's not just in the U.S., it's in all these countries where they have.
I don't think they thought people were going to.
They didn't ask any moms in that corporation.
They didn't check. They thought, okay, we're going to have a sale, but we're not going to.
Yeah. And see, the women would have said, you know what? That sale better be 30 minutes. because we're gonna run out of bears. You know what I'm saying?
Or and it could, and they should have said limit one per family or one per person or something, because you're gonna run out.
Way to control that inventory.
So they didn't really take that into consideration. Here's something. Netflix tests a new price increase strategy for Ultra subscription plan. I need to know what that's about, because, you know, for all of us who have Netflix. Netflix price changes is, again, this is an article from Mashable. The streaming company latest strategy for getting more money won't affect most of us. The streaming giant confirmed to CNET that it has been testing out a new tier for pricing models for select users. At Europe, at a $16.99 per month Ultra subscription plan, which would provide exclusive access to HDR high dynamic range content.
Here we go. Neutrality crap. This levels, and go ahead.
Yeah,
AT&T raised their price too.
On all their stuff, AT&T does not surprise me.
It went from 72 cents to $1.99 for service charges. Why? Because they could. You know, so that to us that's not noticeable, but it's like $80 million for them.
And it's negligible. So what are you doing in your business? Are you watching your pennies that closely?
Exactly. Now, the other thing they did too was they raised, what do you call that? The people who were grandfathered into unlimited service, they raised their fee by $5.
Oh, you mean the people who were grandfathered in unlimited data?
Correct.
So now they're paying $5 more a month, so that you really weren't grandfathered in.
You were grandfathered in, but what the deal is, you only have to pay $5 extra. The other people, I don't know what they're paying. Okay.
Okay, so new people coming in are going to be paying more.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Plus the $5.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, it's getting very interesting. The other thing I noticed was my app for what is it? Movie. What's the name of this app? Movie Pass.
Oh, they changed it.
Movie Pass started. I could go see any particular film as many times as I wanted. Mm-hmm. No problem. Now, when I see it once, it tells me I've seen that movie already, so I can't go in again.
Oh, so they're tweaking stuff, but you know, in the terms of service or the terms and conditions, they probably put in there, we can change these terms.
Oh, of course. It's sort of like we deny service to anybody.
And you know,
you don't like it, you can delete the app. I mean, or well, I guess you'd have to call up and terminate the service because they're hitting your card every month, like Hulu.
Yeah. So as long as they're doing that, and that, you know, you have to. That's a trade-off. If you want to give them access to your account, I don't know what to tell you. I am so seriously. There was this. Anyway, this particular thing I was looking for. It started with an F, Feeble, something, and it's just a. I probably need to go and Google it.
Yeah. I would be interested to know how that works. So let me ask you guys this while she's looking for this. Do you want people to know that you're folding laundry? I mean, do you want some robot in your house telling your friend, oh, she's folding laundry, or oh, she's getting ready to go to the grocery store, oh, she's in the shower? Really? And
it does tell, and it was doing that. And I was thinking, why?
How does it know? And
oh, it does, because you probably sign up so that you can, without actually calling somebody and tell them you're in the shower. You don't have friends.
Now, I could see where it would be advantageous if you have an older sibling or parent or a disabled child or somebody who's at home, and you want to monitor that, you know, keep abreast of what they're doing. But otherwise, it's just, you talk about an invasion of privacy.
Well, it's not invasion because you're telling you signed up to have so that this robot can follow you and tell you what you're doing.
Okay.
And I'm serious. I'm like, well, that's an interesting article. And I was on Facebook and I couldn't find it. Now, when you want the thing in your feed, you can't find it.
Wow.
And I don't know if I could save it. Well, maybe it's still in the feed. Let's look. What is this about Roku? Oh, no, that's something else. They're just really weird things. Seriously, I was like, why would you do that? So privacy is over. If you hadn't known. Yeah. Privacy is over. That was a nice little light I saw where you can put a camera on there. And I'm serious. Any other time I want stuff.
Okay, so here it is. AT&T more than doubles admin free for every wireless customer. It says here the fee increased from 76 cents to $1.99 will make AT&T an additional $800 million per year. AT&T is raising the cost of an administrative fee line item tacked onto the bottom of every single one of their 64.5 million wireless customers in the U.S., as reported first today by BTIG Research. Originally, the 76 cents AT&T has raised the fee to $1.99. When added up and multiplied by 12 months, the increase will result in an additional $800 million. Let me scroll down here to about this $5. So, okay. Earlier this month, AT&T raised the price of its grandfathered unlimited data plans by an additional $5, citing customers that are using mobile data at record levels as the reason for the price increase. You're using too much mobile data, girl. They had to raise your stuff $5. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Why? Okay, never mind. I know why. Money is money.
I was just saying, because they can.
And money is money. It was in The Future Shift by Mashable. And, here it is. The robotic roommate wants to help lonely young people keep in touch with their friends. Fribo, Fribo. Okay, let me read it. Let me see if I can hear it.
Okay. Oh, I saw that. I didn't know that's what that did. Looks like it's called a virtual living space for lonely singles.
The little thing looks creepy. It sits in your house. It is called. This robot may look creepy, but Fribo, Fribo, is here to help you by telling you exactly what your friends are doing at home.
That is
with
so
its built-in
weird.
sensors and microphones, Fribo knows if your friends came home, are doing their laundry, or just woke up.
Oh, girl, you know what that makes me think of?
Fribo will then alert you on what they're doing, giving you an opportunity to respond to your friends.
Wow.
Researchers call it virtual living space for lonely single bedroom dwellers. Who want to have the feeling of having a roommate without the commitment and dirty dishes.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
now I'm done. I was like, seriously? Freebo. That was
okay. Just a second. I want to read this comment from Pat, and then we're going to talk about Freebo because I got a comment about that. Okay. Pat, pardon me. Durham Skywriter says, if I were a driver, she's talking about Uber, I wouldn't even want to pick up people who didn't look right. If you look crazy, let's see more. I would have to pay. Oh, she was talking about if she built a bear, she would have to pay $62. pay your age day. But I don't even want to share with y'all how much I'd have to pay. So this is about this creepy
Freebo.
Freebo. So is Freebo just telling me what I'm doing?
It's telling your friends what you are doing, or you can see what your friends are doing. I'm like,
so you have to have a relationship between both of y'all. Have to agree to download the app and share. I guess.
I don't know. I'm going out to. I'm going over to.
Here's my problem with this. While you're doing research, my problem with this is that so many people are being stalked or bullied or trafficked. Remember we saw the young lady on the train?
Yes.
So now, even when you're in your own space, I can monitor you as to whether or not you're handling business in the house. You know, are you there? So like if I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be, I can look on the little thing and see if you're home folding laundry. I with my mistress.
So let me read this. This is from The Verge, and this is about Freebo. Meet Freebo, a robot built for lonely young people. Freebo encourages young people to text and call one another by sharing information on their daily activities. The number of people living alone is on the rise in the U.S. and other developed nations, and it's definitely not a good thing. Loneliness and isolation are bad for your health, physically and mentally. So it's in society's interest to think about how we can bring people together. Many blame technologies for this fragmentation, but could it also help? Researchers from Korea think so, and they have developed a prototype robot named Freebo that encourages young people to text and call one another. Unlike many other robots built for the home, Freebo is not intended to be social itself, but to instead foster socializing in others. Freebos are intended to be distributed in a group of friends' houses, creating what researchers call virtual living space that brings together individuals who are physically isolated. Freebo does this by listening for activity in individuals' houses and encouraging users to talk via chat apps. Microphones and sensors recognize domestic activities like when someone comes home, turns on a light, vacuums, or opens a fridge. This information is then shared anonymously.
Here we go with the anonymity. Yeah, right. Go ahead.
With the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Oho says Freebo. Oh, so I guess Freebo makes a noise. Your friend opened the front door. Did someone just come home? Anyone who receives this message can then respond either by texting the group chat or by knocking twice near their Freebo, which will recognize the sound and pass on a direct message. What are you doing? Kwang Min is curious. Users can also share approval by clapping 3 times when their Freebo gives them a message about an anonymous activity. So, if they've been notified that a friend has just arrived home late, they can send them a welcome back message just by clapping.
Or they can say, where you been, girl? Are you out with so-and-so? And everybody on the chat can hear.
It's an interesting and novel concept that fosters communication by keeping friends informed about other friends' activities. This is similar to the function of social news feeds. The difference is that it doesn't rely on individuals volunteering information about themselves. And unlike platforms like Facebook, the intended audience is relatively small. I have a problem with the line. It doesn't rely on individuals volunteering information about themselves. So they just don't go get it.
Talk about oversharing.
Yes, but this is saying that the individuals don't volunteer the information. It just picks up on it. So you don't have a choice in what you're sharing, is what it sounds like to me.
Okay. So my question is this stuff in the bedroom? Is it, you know?
By all accounts, Freebo seems to have been a hit. Freebo was presented at the ACMIEEE International Conference on Human-Robot Interaction last month, and in a paper describing the work titled Freebo, a social networking robot for increasing social connectedness through sharing daily home activities from living noise data. That is such a long title. Scientists from Korea's Yonsei and Case universities interviewed 4 groups of young people who tested the robot over a month. One participant said, "I can imagine what my friend is doing, and I can feel like we live in the same house, but in another room. It's like sharing daily activities with friends." Others reported texting and calling friends more often, and even said that having a Freebo changed their daily routine. "I usually wake up late in the morning," said one, "but when I usually wake up late in the morning," said one, "but when I began to notice my friends getting up early, I started thinking about starting the day earlier with my friends."
Hi, Shirley.
The robot itself also received positive comments. In this writer's opinion, the design seems to have been inspired by Studio Ghibli's animations. No bad thing. Participants said that over the course of their trial, they felt closer to their fibro?
Don't start me lying.
Well, I'm reading it. FIBRO. One said, "I am aware of the robot's presence in my house. I have started talking to the robot more often. I tell the robot things that I would not normally say out loud." So now the robot is a virtual friend.
God, stop. Look, listen. Okay, this sounds like a mental health issue to me. We have a nurse on the line. We have Charlene. Charlene?
Oh my gosh.
Tell what we're talking about, this robot.
So we're one step away from the imaginary.
Exactly. From the imaginary friend. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Wait.
Oh my God. This robot Freebo. So now
oh my gosh.
It knows when I'm folding laundry. It knows when I'm in my refrigerator. So now is it gonna start harassing me? Are my friends gonna contact me? You know, it says you knocks, right? When you
you knock when you okay.
I'm on the other end of the road. You gotta knock my earrings off, girl. This foolishness. Listen, I'm on the other end on my Freebo. You open the refrigerator, then you get this response from me. He's like, "What's up, girl? Get out of the refrigerator. You know you got the
put that cake down." It says, of course, not all the feedback was positive. Testers worried about the privacy implications of a product designed to report on their daily activity, a concern that's common with owners of the Amazon Echo or Google Home. You think? Okay. And the researchers noted that Freebo was designed and tested with Korean audiences in mind, and other cultures might react differently. These are relatively minor downsides, though, and given Freebo's cheap construction, it is powered by a Raspberry Pi and has only a simple screen and basic sensors inside. It could easily be adapted if it ever came to market. Did they say if it ever came to market? While the constant possibility of connection provided by technology can encourage us to spend time apart, it can also be used to bring us together. As personal assistants become more common in the home, and as more people start living alone, not just young people either, it's a big trend among the elderly too. We need to explore how we can create new types of community, maybe robots like free, and then they misspelled it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the gist of the story is it's a robot in your house
going like this, like Felix the cat.
That's what it reminded me of, Felix the cat. It's in your house and it's monitoring your movements.
I'm just saying.
And if you had a problem with Instagram not being anonymous, don't get the Freebo. Just saying.
We were supposed to be here 30 minutes. Freebo took us to an hour because I was just freaked out by the whole prospect of a little.
Okay, so this brings us. Okay, so let's talk about that, because Amazon Echo or Alexa in the house is the same thing, but you don't give access to your friends.
I was going to say the difference is it does not report out to my friends and family.
It does now, but Google Home and Alexa does report out. It does. It stores your. It stores the recordings in the cloud. But I believe that they are doing some things to. It doesn't actually activate until you say, "Hey Alexa" or "Hey Google." Then the recording starts. But it does. It needs to access the cloud in order for you to have your command or whatever it is that you want. What is the weather and that type of thing? It has to go to the cloud so it can go get your weather and bring it back. So I understand that. So if you're concerned about that, you need to, you better watch what you're saying when you say, "Hey Google," or when you say, "Hey Alexa." Now, when you,
my question to you is, once it brings a command, once it answers the command,
it just goes into a quiet mode, but it's still listening.
But it's not recording.
It's not supposed to be recording. Now, with Apple encrypts all of that information going back to the cloud. So it can't tell you, like the data with Google and Alexa, it can tell you the data that went back and forth.
Okay.
Apple's data is encrypted when it goes out. It won't
track you.
They don't know. They know that it came from your stuff, but they're not. It's garbled up. You're not going to know it was encrypted. So that's something you need to know if you're using the personal devices. Watch what you say in your house.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Patricia says, Pat Murray says, Bebo might be good for security. If someone has broken into your home and is greeted by Bebo. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Bring back out. Okay. All right. Does Bebo talk? I don't know.
It says, "Oh hi, oh hi." It does say something, but it doesn't like talk.
So it doesn't growl like there's a dog.
Well, maybe. I'm just saying. Now I see that Freebo is a cat-like robot that tells your friends what's going on in your home.
Okay, that's just too much sharing. But you know, this is a different generation, and they do like to share.
But why don't you just pick up your phone?
That's a different culture.
It is, but why don't you just pick up your phone and send a text?
Listen, I'm not from that culture. I don't know. Maybe, and I don't know if it's because maybe they're too busy, maybe they're lazy, maybe it's just and not lazy but convenient. You know, we do a lot of things for the sake of convenience, and maybe they just have closer relationships than Americans. But I'm not feeling it.
Look, it says this. It might look creepy. It does look creepy. What are you talking about? Might?
It's a black cat staring at me. I got one out on my patio now. I'm trying to get rid of. And it's live.
It is really, I'm like, okay.
It's taking the sunning out there.
All right. Anyway, that was what we're doing. Let me see if I can get Linda back in here so she can say something to us. Linda, you got volume yet?
Well, Linda's over here on Facebook. She says, "How do you turn off the Google? Do you say goodbye, Google, to end the recording?"
No. No. I have a stop broadcast over here. If she's talking about the YouTube,
about like Alexa and
with Alexa. Oh no, you just say after you finish talking, it just goes into a mode until you give it another command.
Okay, so you don't have to.
So like if you say, "Hey Google, what's the weather?" It will tell you what the weather is, and once it's finished with that and you pause, it'll just sit there waiting for the next command.
Okay, it doesn't. So her question was, does it say, how do you turn off Google? Do you say goodbye, Google, and Google ends the recording? No. Once it answers the command, then it goes into rest mode.
Yeah, it's just on standby. I would call it standby mode. It's waiting, and it's always on standby waiting for that command. It's just kind of hovering here, and it's waiting for you to say, "Hey Google." Once that does it, it perks up its ears, so to speak, and it's waiting for you for a command. After it's
go ahead.
Yes, yeah, so the "Hey Google" is a command, and now it's waiting for the command. If you don't give it a command and within a certain amount of seconds, it'll just kind of go back into standby mode.
Okay, so it's sort of like having your Google search open all the time.
And it's the same thing as on your phone. If you notice on your phone, you have Google with the little microphone. If you just do that and say, "Hey Google," it will, whatever thing can, "Hey Google, what's the da 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 da?" You can ask it questions. You can open up apps with it. Same thing with Siri. You can do it does the same thing. It's just you saying a particular command to get their attention, and then you ask it what to do. And if you have an Apple phone, it'll give you a list of things that you can ask. Like you can open up apps, like you can find BizChicks on Spotify. Our podcast is on Spotify now, people. So you can, if you have Spotify for your music, you can say, "Show me BizChicks podcast," and it'll take you to that. Or if you're on Apple, you can say on the Apple podcast, you can say, "Show me open podcast for BizChicks," and it'll open up our podcast. So, or you can open up YouTube, or you can open up apps, and you can tell it things. You can talk to it, and it's supposed to be so you're hands free. Like if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking or you're sewing, hey Google, what time is it? And so that you don't have to stop what you're doing.
Find my phone, etc.
Exactly. You don't need to find the phone. You can ask it questions. It will answer for you.
Okay.
And that's good. I just don't know if I don't want it to go tell my friends that I just got out the shower, or I'm doing my laundry, or whatever. There's no anonymity in anymore.
So unless you're trying to give people, helping people, I can see what would be beneficial if you're helping people stay in their homes longer because they're incapacitated, have dementia, things, and they need to be monitored.
Or if they need to, it's a glorified baby monitor.
Exactly. She's in the shower. She's cooking. Oh my God, Granny's cooking.
Somebody need to go over to the house. And the thing is that you can't now see the next step is going to be, "Grandma, are you okay?" And where you can talk to. I don't understand why you just can't talk to the person. And
I think you probably can. I mean, if you could knock, they can answer. They say hello. Because it says it knocks.
It does. No, you knock, and they hear it on the other side. You understand what it is? So there it is. There's some type of sign language or signal communication that is going forward. I just don't know why.
I'm trying to communicate with you, even though you're in the shower, or you just came in the door, your hands are full, and I'm like, Are you okay?
I think it just got it complicated a thing that should be very natural.
Well, someone just created. Oh, we gotta go. Someone just created a button, an iOS button that calls 911. Well, your Apple phone already does that, but this app, because people don't know how to operate their phones, you just pull it up and it calls 911. You have to put in a code to deactivate it. And are you ready for this? They are charging $10 a month, which is at $100 a year.
Okay, but it's already on your phone. At Apple, if you just push your side button on a 10 and just hold it, it will call 911 for you.
Exactly.
So here's the moral of that story. You start paying when you don't know how to use your tools. People will come in and say, hey, we can get, we'll give that to you, and just pay us $10 a month for a tool that you already have in your toolbox. But a screwdriver that's already in the toolbox, we'll give you this screwdriver, and it has a black dot on it. It's already there, so you got to learn your tools. So we'll be talking about some stuff. If you need help learning your tools, we'll be happy to help you. So that is the Tech Divas Weekly. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
We got to go too, Pat.
And we just want to say thank you. Enjoy your Friday. We'll be on Monday. We will be talking. If you know anybody who is in direct sales like Mary Kay, or anywhere where you have downlines or what have you, thank you, Linda. If you have downlines or anything, if you know,
Lakeisha's watching.
Lakeisha, you need to be on the show Monday. We got a lady that's going to talk to you, Passion on Purpose. Missy Anderson will be joining us live, and she's going to be talking about passion. She's got a passion for helping people who are in direct sales, who are in, I was going to say, multi-level opportunities. She really wants to help people, and she's got a great program for that. So please be on the show Monday. Don't miss it. We'll be here at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. officially starts on Monday. We are 8 a.m. Linda, thank you so much for tuning in over there on Facebook and YouTube. We'll play with the Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is another learning curve, but you can go live on YouTube.
Thank you for tuning in, Charlene and Linda and Pat and Lakeisha. We gotta go, Lakeisha. You gotta watch the replay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.